Today we're talking push-ups. Now this is a basic exercise for one of the main movement patterns that you go through. It's used by everyone from children to special forces to build strength and muscular endurance. One of the best things about push-ups is that you can do them anywhere. You need absolutely no equipment, and actually right now, if you're not swimming or currently jumping, then you could drop down and do a push-up right now if you want to. Go ahead, do one. I'll wait. The push-up is a key movement to be able to master your body and how it moves in a functional, healthy way. As far as upper body goes, you have your pull-ups and your push-ups. And I've already done a video on pull-ups from zero to hero, building your pull-ups. So be sure and check that one out if you haven't seen it already. That'll get you going on how to do your own body weight pull-ups. But this video, we're going to build the push-up from the ground up. Okay, first thing we're going to talk about with push-ups is proper form. Now, I've got 4 key things to remember when you're doing your push-ups to make sure that your form is good, you're doing good reps, getting a good benefit, and not putting your joints in danger. Let's dig in. Alright, the first key thing you want to remember for your push-up form is your arm angle, right? So we're talking about your upper arm here, from elbow to shoulder. You want to basically be at a 45-degree angle. Let me kind of shimmy up here. So you don't want to be flared out here. You don't want to be out at 90. That is a bad position for your shoulder. You don't want to be working lots of depth, pushing your shoulder back when your elbows raised up like that. Now, having your elbows tucked isn't wrong, but it's not the basic push-up form. We want to be out at about 45 there. That's going to give you the most natural movement. And you'll see as you start off, your palms will be out at your shoulder height, and as you come in, your shoulders are going to pass your palms and go out in front of them. Speaking of that, you want to make sure, so we just established our 45 here, right? So you want to make sure that you've got 90 degrees going elbow to wrist to the ground, right? So as you're pressing out, like think about if you're doing a bench press or pushing someone or, well, whatever, doing a push-up, you don't want your elbows to be flared out, right? Look, you're putting force through your wrists, but you're doing it at an angle. So you're not going to be, for one thing, imparting the most amount of force onto the object you're trying to push, in this case, the entire planet Earth, or a barbell or a person or whatever you're pushing. And you're also putting your wrist on a bad angle, right? So you don't want to be loading up your wrist when it's at a weird angle. You want it to be straight. You want the force to go through your palm, through the forearm, right up to the elbow. That is optimal. Now the next one is going to be your range of motion. So number 3, range of motion. I've seen so many people just screw this up. Your range of motion should be as full as you can do in a healthy manner, right? So your top of your push-up, your arms are straight. Like whether or not your elbows are locked out, like it doesn't matter. You can have soft elbows, that's fine. But you're going to the top so your arms are straight, okay? Like a rep doesn't count if you're not going to the top. How deep do you go? You want to go definitely past your elbow. I'd say that counts as a rep. And ideally, if you can, if you're really working your strength, your range of motion, you want healthy shoulders, you should be able to get down so that you can do a hand release. So your chest is touching the floor, or your nose touches the floor and you're really close, whatever it might be. But you need a full range of motion for the reps to count, right? You want to build your strength in a full range of motion, not just block off in a very small range and just bounce around off your tendons. You want to be working your muscles in a full range of motion while getting good mobility in your shoulders as well. And this is something I've seen screwed up so many times. I've even seen fitness YouTubers with 1 million subscribers, 1 million plus, doing partial reps and saying they're setting a world record or something. They're just bouncing around a few inches up and down. I count 0 on that, buddy. No record for you. Okay, our 4th and final form tip that we need to abide by for our push-ups is to have your body straight, right? Your overall position of your body. That means you're straight through your hips. You don't have your butt in the air. You don't have your hips sagging down. You are keeping your core tight, keeping your quads tight. You're
Tight like a tiger.
straight as a plank, like you're doing a plank. And you want to make sure you're keeping a neutral neck as well. I sometimes see people doing push-ups and they're looking forward, looking ahead. Like I guess looking at the ground isn't too exciting, but I mean, just think about the position you're putting yourself in, right? You have your arms out here and you're doing this. Why does that seem like the right way to do that? I see people do it all the time as well with squats, with deadlifts. It's not correct, guys. You're going to just jack up your neck. Stop doing that. Neutral spine, neutral neck. Keep that in mind. So those are our 4 form tips. Okay, so obviously doing the opposite of those things are some of those bad mistakes that you want to avoid when you're doing push-ups. So having elbows flared out at 90 degrees, having angles at your wrists, lifting your head up and looking forward, dropping your butt down, hiking your butt in the air. These are all things we're going to avoid. So now that we know our proper form, let's start building up the strength using a great progression. Let's jump in. Okay, I know I just slammed having your butt up in the air when you're doing a push-up, but it's proper for the most absolute beginners. If you're just starting and you are so far from doing a push-up you couldn't imagine doing one off your toes, then doing a push-up from your knees with your butt in the air is actually the absolute first level of progression for a push-up from the floor. Now, if you're doing those, I mean, honestly, you probably want to be doing them maybe off a wall or something is another option. But that is the absolute beginner first step. For most people starting, you're going to be doing it from your knees, but you're going to do it with a straight body. Right? We're starting to reinforce those straight hips right from the get-go. Once you're able to do push-ups with your shoulders passing your elbows from the knees with a straight body, you can start going for a full range of motion and doing a hand release. So you're going all the way down and pushing yourself up all the way straight. Arms straight at the top. So once you can do full range of motion, hand release push-ups from your knees, and you can start building up those numbers, the next step is to be going to your toes. But when you're going to your toes, you're not going to be able to be down on the floor right off the bat, so we're actually going to elevate your hand position. You're going to do them on a bench, you're going to do them on a bar, whatever it is. That way that upward angle that you're at, you're not lifting as much of your body weight. Now make sure when you're doing this, you're practicing the same good form. That means making sure your shoulders and hands are in a good position as you get started. Now to go from there to the floor, it's really as simple as just finding lower and lower places to put your hands until you can actually do them on the floor. That might take a long time, but that's fine. Push-ups are something you could practice all the time. Generally, they're not going to be high impact. You're not going to be getting too sore, so you could do them frequently and get better pretty quickly. Okay, congrats. Now you're doing push-ups. So let's see how far we can push things and start using some more progressions, build some strength, get some challenges. Let's keep going. Now there's a million different ways to progress push-ups, so to keep this video under an hour, I want to cover just a few of my favorites. And one thing I don't really go over, but is obviously a consideration, is using different hand placements. And I'm not really covering that because that kind of just changes the exercise a bit. So we're just focusing on advancing a standard push-up form, right? So obviously going in close, doing diamond push-ups, you're going to be working your triceps a lot and working your shoulders, tucking your elbows, or even going out wide purposefully. Those are all change things, but enough on that. You could change your hand placement if you want. Okay, so our first modification is to start elevating your feet. Now, don't get crazy with this. If you go too high, you're doing a handstand. You probably noticed that. So you will obviously be changing the muscles that are doing the majority of the lifting the higher the angle you go. So while getting your feet up off the ground will increase the body weight that you're lifting for your push-up. Do that within reason, unless your goal is to do more of like that incline angle or even a handstand. Another variation I like to build on are dive bomber push-ups. Now these are just a little bit different, a little unique. This is the name I learned them under. I think there's a few different names for them, but you're basically going to be diving down and kind of gliding along the bottom of the movement for a while, so you're getting some time under tension, and then kind of pressing up and then driving your hips back. So you're getting a little bit of a stretch. It's very similar to some yoga moves. It's definitely a unique lift, and you're putting some different angles on your shoulders, getting a little bit of mobility, stretching, and like I said, that time under tension. Next one's very simple. You can just add some weight. So you're going to do that with either a weight vest or a weight plate. I don't have a weight vest. I have backpacks, I have weight plates, whatever. Here's me doing it with a weight plate. Add more weight to your torso in some way and press that up. That'll be harder. Now, next one is going to be your plyometric push-up. So obviously just driving off as hard as you can. It's a power move, so you're going to be driving into the ground as hard as you can, accelerating your body up, and catching a little bit of air. And if you're feeling really good about yourself, give yourself a little round of applause with a clap or two. Now, similar to that is actually using a band as a source of resistance. Now, you're going to be able to do the same thing you would with a plyometric, but you're not getting up in the air, so you're lessening the impact on your shoulders. So for me, I prefer that. You're getting down so the tension is lighter with the band, and then you drive up hard, and obviously you're getting more tension, which really translates to a pretty tough exercise on your chest, which is good, because a lot of times the chest is just not challenged as much in push-ups. So this is one of my favorite variations to try and add in as you get more advanced with push-ups. And my other favorite one is going to be doing some push-ups for time under tension, right? So we are not able to add large amounts of weight to a push-up like you would to a bench press or a squat or whatever the case may be. So what can we do to increase the difficulty? Well, we could impart more force on the same amount of weight, right? Which is what we just talked about, doing something with power, right? Your plyometrics or doing your band resisted push-ups. Now, the other side of that is going actually really slow and increasing the duration of your repetitions. So you're spending a lot of time under load for each repetition. And this is another of my top favorite advanced variations. And if you don't think it's too hard, then look up the Bring Sally Up challenge on YouTube and just kind of see what that's all about. But basically, it's a lot of time under tension push-ups, and it's really tough. So the push-up should be a part of pretty much almost any workout routine. Being able to do them properly will build strong, healthy shoulders, chest, core, you name it. It's really decently full body, at least for the anterior part of your body. And it's just one of those basic movement patterns that you want to just be able to do right when you want to move healthy and be strong. Now, if you're looking for a complete workout routine to work push-ups into, then check out the video I put together on my hybrid training routine, which is a full month-long routine of lifting, of running. And you could work push-ups into that workout as one of your exercises, and you could see that whole video right here. Now, if you made it to the end of the video, I'm hoping that means that you like the video. So if you like it, then why not just like it? You know, give it a thumbs up or hit a subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Any sort of interaction or engagement really helps a small channel like mine keep going and keep growing, so I really, really appreciate it. I'm Dave, and this is Dave Does Fitness. Have an awesome day and stay fit.